If you were choosing ammo to protect your family, you probably think the massive stopping power of the shotgun slug makes it the ultimate home defense round. But what if I told you firing a slug inside your house could actually be a deadly overpenetration mistake, and the standard buckshot might be your ultimate lifesaver? Today I'm testing both of these rounds, and I'm going to show you the hidden dangers of each and exactly which ammo you should trust with your life. So what I've got today is just a 24-inch long 410. I'm going to put this slug into that wall. We're going to see the penetration. I'm going to shoot a little bit to the left because I've got a little guy behind there. We're going to see the penetration, see how far it goes through things. So the 410, this was a 1/5 ounce lead slug. This is the wad. This is the actual bullet hole. I mean, obviously it went through the drywall, went through the plywood on the backside. We'll check it out. This is the exit wound out of the back of the wall here. This is 7/16 plywood. And as I'm looking at this, we've got about a 1-inch drop from the other side. It was about 1 inch higher, and it dropped going through that drywall. So it did slow it down. It did change the trajectory of that 410 lead round. So this is our 410, and after it's went through our drywall, our plywood, this is about 5 feet away. It did go through, and it continued into the backstop. So obviously you guys could see the entry wound is pretty small. It's to be expected. I mean, it's a 410. There's no kick on these guns. I would compare it to shooting a 22. I mean, there's just nothing to them. As you shorten the barrel, it's probably gonna have a little bit more kick. This is a full choke, so this is gonna be compressing that slug a little bit and creating a little bit of back pressure, but there's no kick on a 410 that I can tell you about that's significant. So now I'm gonna be shooting a 12 gauge 1 ounce slug through my homemade wall. So this is our 12 gauge. That's the actual hole. That's the wad. It's a nice clean cut. It's moving, man. But that's a 1 ounce lead slug. Obviously it goes right through the drywall. Let's see what it did to the backside. So this is 7/16 plywood. It went clean through it like it was nothing really. It looks like my point of impact from what I was aiming, it still hasn't dropped anything on bullet drop through going through multiple layers. We'll have to check out my target back here because it did penetrate into him as well. So obviously that bullet went through the drywall, through the plywood, and kept moving. I think maybe we probably got maybe an inch of drop. Obviously kept going into the backstop. The slug is gonna go through multiple walls. So the 12 gauge has got some kick to it. An automatic shotgun, it always has a little bit more recoil than the other rounds before it. Just like with a pump shotgun, they have some recoil to them. But the nice thing about an automatic in most cases, except for on the last round, they normally don't recoil as bad. The 12 gauge is just hard to beat. All right, I've got the 410. I'm gonna be testing the Ultimate Defense Triple Odd Buckshot by Remington. I think it's 4 BBs, and then that's the wad right there. Actually, I kind of like that spread. I always like to see just a little bit bigger spread than like what we've got going on over there with the 12 gauge. Let's see what the backside looks like. So just like the front, the spread, they dropped just a little bit, maybe a 1/2 inch difference in after it's went through that drywall. But it penetrated through the 7/16 plywood and it continued on. Anytime you get a spread about the size of your fist or something like that, that's a good ammunition for home defense. So obviously it went through the drywall, through the 7/16 plywood, continued on. These are about 5 feet apart. That bullet has dropped significantly, probably 6-8 inches, something like that, from where it hit over here to where it's hitting here. But we've got a few little rounds that did still hit. We've at least got 3. And I think there was only 4 in that one. I like the spread. I do like the pattern a little bit. It got a little bit wider, about the size of your fist, something like that. Give them a shot, guys. The 410 might be a good home defense gun with the right ammunition. All right, so now what we're gonna be shooting is the Hornady Critical Defense Double Odd Buck. We're gonna put one down range and see how it does to our homemade wall. It's a tight group for what that is. So I went through the drywall, went through the 7/16 plywood, which is what most houses are built out of. So you still got to remember it's going to penetrate through multiple walls. This is the Critical Defense 12 gauge double odd buckshot. So there you have it. It had a lot of recoil. The slug has its purpose and so does the buckshot. They're two different, totally different types of ammunition. When it comes down to your buckshot and your slug, they both will do very well with home defense. The slug is always going to penetrate further than your buckshot. Your buckshot is normally going to fall at a faster rate after it goes through multiple surfaces, multiple walls and things like that. Slug is going to penetrate multiple surfaces, and the trajectory of that isn't going to change by much. The 12 gauge slug compared to like the 410 slug, obviously it's a size issue, right? We had about a 1-inch differentiation after going through just the drywall and then hitting that 4-inch gap and hitting that plywood. We had about a 1-inch drop in the 410. And then from there, it dropped pretty well. It was like 5 inches, 6 inches, something like that. It kept falling pretty good. So the 12 gauge did not have that, especially in the slug, obviously. The trajectory and things, it was pretty laser on, man. It was taking a few more layers probably before it was gonna start getting that trajectory down. In my opinion, home defense scenario, I like the Buckshot. The slug in a 12 gauge can over penetrate. The slug has its purpose. And what I do, my firearm is normally loaded in the tube with Buckshot. I keep in my side saddle 3 or 4 rounds of the slug. And that is if I need to reach out and touch somebody and I need to get around a little bit further down range or I need to over penetrate, I have that availability and I have the access to it. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. And remember this, God, family, country.